Hey guys, Brent Ehrler here again for a Tackle Warehouse vlog. Day 2 at San V. Conditions are different. We have quite a bit more wind and it's a lot cooler. Kind of excited on what we're gonna find out here. So touch base on a couple of the newer rods, new reels, maybe change up a few different baits, and maybe try and catch a big one. Hopefully catch one up in that 6-8 pound range. I'm excited. Let's get this done. Oh, he's got me in a tree. No way. Oh, he's still there. He's come out of there. Come on. You see, he's still on. Can't get him out though. See that? Watch this. If I watch this. Swim out. I got him pinned in a tree. Oh man. Swim. Did you see that? I can't get him out. I got him pinned. Oh, there he goes. I got him out. Look at that. Oh, I got him out finally. There's a lot of brush down there. I had him pinned on a tree. That's funny. Man, that's a testament to how strong that sunline is. This 16 pound FC Sniper. Going a 3/4 ounce jig. The brand new Tatula SV. The SV spool is just really good for casting light baits. I have a 3/4 ounce jig on right now. It casts awesome. This is one of my Tackle Elite Series signature rods. This is 7.3 medium heavy action rod. Everything worked great for that. Got him out in the sunline. Didn't break off. Had me pinned forever. It's crazy how frayed my line is. I still got him in. That's awesome. This spot right here, it's kind of along the lines of the deeper stuff that we've been fishing, the drop shot and the nail rig. There's rock, there's brush, it's a point. We're in the fall, there's still a lot of fish that are deep that were out there during the summer. The jig, you can cover a lot of water and you can make a long cast with a 3/4 ounce jig like this. Typically you get a bigger bite on a jig. That one wasn't that big, but right now I'm trying to get a bigger bite. I've caught a bunch deep, I've caught a bunch shallow. I really want to catch a 6-pounder. I haven't had a big one yet. So jigs always get a big bite. So I paired the jig up with a rod and reel combo, the Tatula Elite. It's a 7.3 medium heavy. It's a multi-purpose rod. This is one that I use for everything. Works well on a 3/4 ounce jig. Works well on a 3/16 ounce little Texas rig for pitching around or casting around. So you can do a lot with this rod. The SV spool is, not only good for small light baits, but you can cast a heavy 3/4 ounce jig like this and do just fine with it. So just trying to get a bigger bite on some of those fish that are still out here deep. Trying out the new Tatula Elite Series rods, pairing it with that SV Tatula. So real comfortable, real easy to fish, real sensitive. Can't wait to put it into the lineup this next season. One tip that I can give people fishing in the wind is right now I've decided to slow down. The fish are deep. It's really hard to get a feel for what's down, on the bottom with that much line out. So one tip is to always fish with the wind at your back on a spot. It's really hard to do when you're fishing deep because conventional trolling motors, you have to stay in the wind and cast into it to hold on a spot. With the Ultrex, I can sit and spot lock and hold it on the front. I'm upwind from where I want to fish. Have the boat keep me there. I can cast with that wind, get a good cast, but have that bait settle down. Now the wind's not pushing towards me and pushing against my line, and the current's pushing against my line. Now it's running with it. I can get a much better feel of the bottom and detect strikes by having that wind at my back. You're so much more effective for fishing slow and thorough with that wind at your back. So another advantage for having that Ultrex motor on the front. And one thing that's really nice about that Ultrex, you don't really realize, but when you're on the trolling motor and trying to hold yourself on a spot, you're not really focusing on that cast. You're not really focusing on what the bait is doing down there. You feel like you are, but you're more worried about boat position and moving it around, and am I on the spot? Am I keeping it lined up, you know, right there? When you hit spot lock, it's crazy, because I mean, I can just sit there and just focus on that bait, on, you know, it's there right now. I can feel that jig on the bottom, and I can just, you know, I'm moving it an inch at a time, and that's it. Whereas if you're fighting the trolling motor, you might be moving it a foot and messing up, and then you're just not really focused like you are when you have a spot lock. You don't realize it until you try it, you know, or if you're fishing in the back of the boat, and it happens a lot in a team format where the guy in the front's battling the waves and the guy in the back is jacking them up. He's the one catching all the fish because he's not worried about it. He's just sitting there, you know, fishing. The guy up front's worried about the trolling motor and casting, and his line's over here, and he drifts off the spot and he's trying to get back on, and the guy in the back's jacking him up, you know, because he's focusing on fishing. Another thing that's really cool about the Ultrex is that I'm sitting on a spot right now and I'm trying to make multiple casts in an area right here, and not cast on the exact same spot. You know, I'm trying to cast here, and then I'll cast a little bit over there, you know, and then a little bit over there. When you're fighting the boat in the waves, you think that you're casting it and making these different casts, but really you might be casting the exact same spot because the boat's moving up and down. And you know, with the Ultrex, you can spot lock it down there. And now I know my first cast was right here. My next cast, I can put it here. The next one, I can put it there, and I can cover, you know, that whole area right there. Whereas before I thought I was, but I you know, really wasn't doing that. One thing that I try to do with a jig is, I don't want to say hop. What I'm trying to do though is lift that bait just a couple inches at a time. By lifting it, I mean that all I'm doing is I'm just moving that rod tip just real quick, just kind of up and back down. Looks like I'm kind of hopping it, but I'm lifting a bunch of slack line. So I'm taking that rod and running it from like a, you know, a 9 to 11 is about what I'm doing, you know, in the clock position. I'm just kind of lifting it. What that jig is doing is it's just going like this. It's on the bottom and it just goes 3 inches, 2 inches, just real quick, up and down like that. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not dragging it. I'm trying to have it, you know, hop a little bit to where it's giving a lot of kick to it. So if you can imagine a crawdad down on the bottom, it's just crawling along, and when a bass swims by, what's he do is he throws his pinchers up and acts like he's tough. And what that's doing is that jig's down there, it's crawling on the bottom. Well, when I just give it that one quick little hop, that trailer flicks up, the legs flip up like this, and it gives off that defensive posture. And I think the bass see that, and it triggers them to strike even if they don't want it. It's kind of that dominance thing, you know. You have a little crawdad saying, hey, what's up, you know, come at me, bro. And the bass goes, all right, you're done. I'll just eat you. So that's the way I try to fish it. Now here we have scattered rock and brush. So what I'm doing is when I get around that rock, that's when I'm trying to really just do that little 2-inch kind of creep along the bottom. And then when I get to a tree, I'll reel it and pull it to the top of the tree. And when it gets to the top, you know, as soon as it clicks off the top, then I want to make sure it falls free. It gets down to that rock that's going to be kind of around those trees. So little tiny hops, crawl it over the tree, little tiny hops again. That's really what I try to do. I never drag it. I'm not hopping it up. I'm just creeping along the bottom. Well, thanks for watching this series. I had a great time here on San Vicente, checking out all the brand new rods and reels from Daiwa. If you want to try some for free, don't forget like, share, tag a buddy for a chance at winning something for this week's gear giveaway. Again, presented by Daiwa.